Welcome to Reddit Aliens. Serious. What are some of the darkest Reddit posts or moments? Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. The mom who posted regularly on Reddit about how wonderful her kids are, only for two of those same kids to slaughter their entire family. The man who asked for advice on his cheating wife, who decided to leave her, and she took revenge by killing their children. Coconut grandma killed her grandkid because she didn't believe in allergies. There was this Ask Reddit thread a few years back, basically asking parents of disabled children to speak their minds. It was just depressing. A lot admitted they didn't love their child. The lie that it's magical and a blessing, the best way to describe it was raw. Back when confession bears were a new thing, some guy confessed to a murder, after which he was arrested through some real police work, and maybe some Reddit police work, who knows. There's this post on AITA where a woman talks about how her husband and father-in-law are being super creepy as she approaches the end of her pregnancy. They are convinced she will die in childbirth. I can't quite remember all the details, but she was responding to comments and stuff. All of a sudden she stopped. It's been 2 years, and nothing else from the account. The one where the guy posts his updates on from trying meth or heroin for the first time to being full-blown addicted and losing everything over the course of a few years. I don't remember the full story, but I remember a story where a man talks about how his son was born a sociopath and tried to kill his infant sister, so the man's wife nearly beat the son to death. That was a roller coaster and a half. Watching someone's life fall apart through the written word online, I just hope that the comment section was somewhat supportive of trying to help him, not hinder his progress. When this guy thought he was being stalked by his landlord because he kept finding notes saying things that only he knew, turns out he was dying from carbon monoxide poisoning the whole time and didn't know until someone on Reddit told him. Guy in my hometown that murdered his girlfriend and fled to the US. We're in Ontario. While wanted by police, he posted to Reddit giving his side of the story about how he stabbed her multiple times in self-defense. The time where Redditors played detective, falsely suspected someone leading to the family being harassed, and said victim had already died from suicide before said event happened. I remember this one thread post where a father described the story of his son, who was the devil incarnate. He and his wife did everything they could to give the kid a good life, but he came out of the womb crying nonstop and had insane behavioral issues ever since, wiping shit all over the place, breaking stuff, etc. The story ended with him as a preteen teenager and threatening their newborn daughter with a knife. The mother attacked the son and beat him to a pulp, and the family locked themselves in a basement until he left. They never saw him again. Whoa. There was a psycho that was posting pictures of brutally ripped up animal corpses and pretending to act as if they stumbled upon the corpse in the wild when it was very obvious that they were torturing and killing the animals. Then, when I looked at their post history, I saw a disturbing fascination with serial killers and murdering. One of their posts was, "If I torture and kill animals for fun, does that make me a monster?" Another one was, "If you were a serial killer, who would your victim be?" I saw they made a comment saying they would kill homeless or poor women and cut them up with a saw. I reported all that shit, but Reddit didn't do anything. It's effed up when you can literally see a serial killer in the making and not be able to do anything. That effort will 100% go on to kill a human in real life. There was a guy on the r/drugs subreddit who said in a post that he was going to try a drug called Datura. Many who commented under the post told him to stop and throw that crap away. Datura is a hallucinogenic drug that lasts a very, very long time. He didn't listen and took it. Redditors were constantly looking for updates from the OP and wanted to know his condition. He made only 2 posts. One of them was very harrowing, which said, "How normal again, stop now." He hasn't been heard from since. One of my favorite horror channels on YouTube called Nexpo made a video on this called The Redditor Who Vanished. Really surreal shit. Used to be a sub where people posted videos of deaths and stuff. Don't know if this was what caused it to finally get deleted. Security cam footage with people providing context in the comments. The father seemed to despise his clearly depressed son and was berating him as the son sat on the counter of what seemed to be a mini-mart. According to comments, the father took his service handgun, pulled a bullet to the chamber, and told him something along the lines of, "If you're going to kill yourself, do it, right now," then placed the gun in front of him. The teen did indeed take the gun, put it to his head, and pulled the trigger. He immediately slumped, and his mother, who was just silently watching the whole thing, fell to the floor in a hysterical fit. The father yelled something like he was faking it and slapped him in the head like, "Quit acting." The resolution was VGA at best, and you could still see the exact moment where his soul was crushed as he realized exactly what he did. I love learning, and so from this post I actually looked up the post that you mentioned, and once I finish recording I'm going to watch it, because I'm really not, I think I'm too old for Reddit, so even though I read about it every day. Thanks, guys. I think the story where a woman went into a shop and her boyfriend/husband stayed outside, a random woman just straight up took the pram and walked casually away. When the man tried to get it back, people assumed that he was the kidnapper and pinned him down. He said something like, "I've got pictures of the kid," and the guys pinning him down hurt him, and the woman started to walk away towards a truck. That's when the mother of the child came out of the shop and saw everything and managed to get their baby back. The thing that makes this really dark is imagining the worst and what could have happened if the mother spent a minute later in the shop. I don't remember what part on Reddit I saw this from, but I'm 100% sure the story exists somewhere, and it has stuck with me. Do other people remember this like I do? I saw a video of these cousins who were playing with guns in the bathroom for some reason. Cousin 1 killed Cousin 2 by accident, and then Cousin 1 committed suicide just out of frame, and you could hear the family screaming in the background. As a father, this hits close to home. The preconceived notion of the bias of a male and a female in a situation like that is evident. I've also seen things like that in family court where sometimes the man is guilty until proven innocent. So I'm not going to preach, but anyway, I'm glad it worked out okay. A dad asking for advice because he found out his wife sexually abused their toddler. He called the cops and was divorcing her, but you could tell he was scared of being a single parent and effing it up. He had 2 daughters and the toddler was a boy. I felt so badly for this man. He got some good advice, but also a lot of people trolled him. The Jason in Hell situation. He posted on relationship advice for some advice relating to his wife. He'd found her cheating on him with the neighbor and confronted the both of them. He told her that he wanted to divorce her, and she said to him he would never see the kids again if he did that. Reddit users told him to get a lawyer and divorce her, to which her response was to murder the children. This will most likely get buried. It didn't, but I swear it was on here, but I haven't been able to find any trace of it, even through Google. A guy was posting and answering questions about how his life was destroyed after his 14-year-old daughter maliciously accused him of sexual abuse in retaliation for him taking her phone away or some other punishment. He lost his job, his wife left with his daughter, arrested, etc. Eventually, police found out the daughter made it all up. If I recall correctly, he had to move away because of the fallout and was on the fence about reconciling with his wife and was pretty sure he was going to disown his daughter. I've looked for it to see if there were more updates, but alas, it's erased from the internet, or I imagine the whole thing. This is small, but a couple years ago, there was this woman who was a frequent poster on the Bravo Real Housewives subreddit, was a bartender in Charleston, and a secondary character from one of the shows walked into her bar. He had just been accused of some truly vile shit against women, and was a good old boy, which fit the whole show vibe. Anyway, she's giving us updates every few minutes, and eventually the bar closes, and this guy has invited her out, and she's asking the sub whether to go. Most people said no because this guy was so shady, but she indicated she was going to go and would post an update about it. 99% sure she confirmed she was going. Anyway, she never posted on the sub again after that post saying she was going out with him, and she never posted on Reddit again. The only caveat is that I stopped checking her Reddit account after about a year. There were several posts with people noting they were concerned about her, but no one really knew what to do. I think about her a lot. I highly doubt any of you know this story. Not bad, but just sad and really unfortunate. A War Thunder YouTuber military game with tanks, planes, and boats posted his last video on YouTube, saying he was kinda done with YouTube. Some redditor who was a big fan and follower of his felt something off about him. As you can see in his last video, he was very off and sad. The redditor got him and his friends together and somehow got down to the location to where he lives. He got the house address and called 911 for a wellness check. The poor guy committed suicide, and the guy who reported the 911 call was right about his bad feeling. Police notified the brother, who notified the family if I recall correctly. Very sad, but well done to the fellow redditor. Post is out there somewhere on the r/War Thunder sub. There was one with a couple who adopted a daughter with severe trauma who was becoming intimate with the family dog. One of the mothers found out and gave the dog away. She found this out because she had once had relations with an animal but cut it out. I don't know why, but zoophilia is just really dark to me. Not just to you.